Yeah.
Wait, does this mean we're live and I can hear myself?
Yep. There you go.
Yay! Everybody, welcome. This is Chase on Two Wheels, and this is Live on Two Wheels, episode 12, with my co-host, Bo.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody, this is the first episode that
this
Bo
is
has.
the most forehead you've ever seen of mine.
Enjoy all of it that you have.
Just for you guys.
Just for you guys. So, guys, you might notice there's a couple new things, which is not new to the Live on Two Wheels show. Very rarely do we have multiple episodes where everything stays the same. If you guys... Oh, wait. Pause. This episode is sponsored by Tonnit. We're going to talk about Tonnit later in the show.
No, we got some stuff to talk about.
We have some super cool stuff to talk about Tonnit. We're going to hold off, though. Halfway through, we will talk about Tonnit. There are some new updates that we can finally talk about that Bo and I have been secretly testing. But now we can talk about it. So everybody, thank you for joining us over on Live on Two Wheels. This is your weekly motorcycle live show where we talk about whatever random things we want to talk about or that we find are relevant in the motorcycle industry. This is a live show here on YouTube, maybe soon to be multiple platforms. Also, this is also a podcast. So if you just want to listen to us and you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, I don't blame you, and that's totally fine.
You saw my forehead.
You saw Bo's forehead. We are available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast. That's it. AKA your favorite podcast platforms. So, guys, if you are listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, please do me a solid and leave us a review over there. You don't realize how helpful it is. And if you can't do that and you're watching this live right now, hit the like button because we love you guys when you do that. And it makes us feel really good about ourselves and it makes us really excited to do more episodes. So we're kind of vain like that.
I need constant positive reinforcement.
I have to have constant positive reinforcement or else I will just become a depressed ball of blackness. So let's all not let Chase and Bo become depressed balls of blackness and hit the like button. That's all we ask. Okay, episode 12. Bo, we're in the double digits now.
I'm happy.
We're on the way to getting serious. What do you guys, let us know in the chat, what do you guys think about our new, or you're the same,
Yeah.
even though you got this little like
We're like
teasy,
much closer now.
Look, we can touch each other. That's
weird.
on a list of statements I wish I didn't make. So, guys, we've changed
We're
up.
cubicle buddies now.
We're cubicle buddies. Oh, garbage truck time. We'll talk about garbage truck time because I have a feeling it's going to be a thing because it's already a thing between us. Yep. So that probably means it's going to be a thing between everybody. So, guys, if you're wondering why we changed things up, for one, this is our little chat session up front. What we're going to talk about today is motorcycle meetups. We got Bo and Brian. I got to take these guys to the airport right after this show. They're headed to get on MotoFest. I'm going to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride here in Atlanta on Sunday. There's a lot of meetups going on, and we thought it would make sense to go ahead and have a little conversation of meetups, kind of what we think about them. We'll probably have some nostalgia time,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back and just round everything out. But we've kind of changed things up here because you guys that have been watching the show for a hot second, you probably remember it was always me looking at you guys, and then I would always have to talk like this, right? Because I was looking at Bo to my side. I had to put my desk in like the middle of the studio, and that just
completely in the way of everyone.
Completely in the way of everything. And I really noticed after the last episode we had Moto Nasty on, had him here in studio, which is really cool. It was our first guest, and
we put him in timeout corner.
We put him in timeout corner, which is the only thing we could really do at the time. But it made me realize, I was watching the videos back because I do rewatch our shows to make sure that, like, how do I think it went? And so we can, we're always wanting to make this better for you guys. And I noticed that the whole show, I look like this. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, but not blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's so dumb. That's a dumb way to do things.
I love it.
So I was like, how can we figure it out to make it better? I like this background that I have. Like, I like the blue lights and shit.
Freddie says it feels more homey.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in a closer space because otherwise it was
feel your body heat.
Good. That's the shop heat because we don't have the AC on because we appreciate good audio. But then this way, like, so the cool thing is I can look at Bo right here. And Bo can look at me.
So here's the funny part: is he's actually on camera. You guys can't see it, but I'm looking at the monitor. Just point at me. So he's pointing literally in my direction. Like that's exactly where I'm at.
It's so good, and it just happens to kind of work out well because like. With Bo being the Bo edits the vast majority of the videos on the channel these days, so it is kind of helpful on our end for me to just work right in this area. Now the kind of thing that works out really well is, as you guys can see behind me, is the Wreck Bike Rebuild Garage Bay. So we don't have a bike we're currently working on right now because it's off doing fiberglass stuff. Well, the bike's not doing fiberglass stuff. It's getting fiberglass stuff done to it.
I'm just doing fiberglass stuff.
It's just motorcycle doing fiberglass. You guys better get used to that accent because it's happening a lot. So we don't have a bike coming on and off the lift right now. So I don't know if this is going to be able to stay, but I've liked this. We've had it for this week and it's worked out really well. So, if anything, this is probably what Live on Two Wheels is going to look like from my end.
For a while.
Yeah, at least for a while.
And if we ever decide to like actually set aside a space just for it, then that's maybe a thing that we do.
Right.
But
I feel like this is how this is probably going to stay until a major change. Yeah. And when I say major change, I mean like
knocking down walls.
Maybe knocking down walls, but we don't have the space in the shop right now. There's no area to like make a little tiny studio. But if we ever come to that time, that I feel like will be the next move. But you guys, hey, my wife gets to join in. I didn't think she was going to get to make it. Yay, everybody clap for Hedda, or she's Miss C2 on there. That's cool. Yep. So yeah, this is probably how it's going to be for a while until major changes. But you guys seem to be liking the episodes. Y'all are watching them on YouTube. The episodes are growing. The podcast episodes are getting more downloads. Oh, we got an email today. We got our first 1,000 downloads on podcasts.
All right, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, right? How cool is that? It's the cool thing about
it's weird that 1,000 people just want to listen to us.
Right. I think it's so neat, man. An hour. Well, so the cool thing is, like, obviously we do this live show with you guys, but the podcasts, the episodes, the listening ones, we don't really promote that other than here on the show. Yeah. And every episode, they're just like getting more and more views. So it's so cool to see something grow organically. Because let's have that conversation real quick. So guys, this is the first episode where I can actually hear the sound effects that Bo does, because I don't like wearing headphones on the show, and I've even got
so now you can actually hear all the
I can actually hear the sound effects. So when we've played videos in the past, I've never been able to hear them. Yeah. I've got little earbuds that I'm gonna start wearing soon. I just don't like the look of wearing headphones. It's kind of a personal thing. Bo's been getting on to me. He's like, you need to be able to hear what's going on. Like this way I can back up, if something happens with the audio, I can be like, hey, Bo, I sound like crap.
Also, we don't have to shout to each other. We can just talk in normal volume.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Because you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you really good. Yeah, I can hear you way better than I've ever wanted to hear you. But yeah, that's kind of the why the new setup is what it is.
Which is perfect because it's super relaxed, which is like very on brand for the topic tonight too.
I was gonna say, I feel normally when this show starts, I'm like, oh my god, stuff's happening, lots of energy. But now I do feel like kind of more chill right now. Like I can just like have a conversation and not be like so on edge type
thing.
Two
good friends just talking in a shop.
We're gonna have to make a new song for Live on Two. It's just two guys. All right, we need to discuss the line real quick.
Let's go.
Okay, so do you remember what day it was? Because it was one of those days where it was just me and you editing stuff all day.
Yeah, no, it was sometime earlier this week, I think.
Yeah, sometime earlier this week, me and Bo. No, I was filming something because I was filming our Talk to Camera. We have a GPS video coming out. It's going to be next week, and it's hilarious. I was filming a Talk to Camera. It was the only thing I was doing that day where I needed good audio. And I was sitting at this desk and I was, I had a little GPS thing and I was talking about it. Y'all, I swear to God.
Garbage truck was gangbanging the fucking... he was...
The whole day, silence. Middle of the day, I've got my light set up. I got my camera, my audio. Everything's fine. And I'm like, cool, let's roll. Roll camera, and I'm like, "What's up, guys?" So this is the GPS. The second,
kablam,
y'all, no joke. So there's a garbage thing like right down there because we're in like a little like a business park type thing, And the second I hit record, garbage truck just starts going nuts. So this is how bad it was, right? Bo got up from an edit, had his headphones on, was editing everything, goes outside to be like, what the hell is happening right now? Because typically...
Well, there was a rug, a whole ass rug stuck in the top of it. And instead of being like a normal person with arms and legs, he just picked up the garbage can, tilted it up, and it wouldn't come out. And then he just, for like 20 minutes, just goes, blam, 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 and it just would not come out.
It was just this incessant banging. Because, like, people got to pick up garbage, right? We know that. It's fine. We sat here and listened to that for 5 minutes. And it wasn't until after the 5-minute time clock of like, all right, we got to check into stuff.
Yeah.
So in order to not lose our freaking minds, we just start making this joke of like, I'm just a garbage truck doing garbage truck
Like,
stuff.
what's that garbage truck doing? And then I was like, I'm just doing garbage truck stuff.
So if you guys
Got
hear...
this rug stuck, so I'm going to smack it a couple times.
So that's the new joke in the shop of if you guys hear us talking like this is garbage truck
That's the
noise.
new voice for inanimate objects.
Yeah. It started from garbage truck noise and now it's our inanimate object noise. So if you hear me talking about doing coffee cup stuff, that's all I'm doing.
Just holding your hot liquids. Oh, Ray Bowden's going to be at the MotoFest. Yeah,
Okay.
fine. I'm going to be doing... Okay, so real quick, before we get into this topic, I'm going to address something because I'm going to be doing a lot of live updating on Tonnet, and then at some point on the weekend, I'm going to be...
Live updating the Get On MotoFest out in
just,
Texas.
Everything that we're doing, I'm going to be posting up. If you want to find me or Brian, you can hit me up there at some point. I plan on doing an Instagram live kind of thing.
Okay.
Just hanging out with some of the other moto vloggers and whatnot. So if you we have links for the club on Tonnet and my personal link. Follow me and then come find us.
Yeah,
don't be creepy. Come find us, but come find us. Just say hey.
Yeah, if you guys are going to the Get On MotoFest, Brian and Bo are going to be there. Is Brian on Tonnet? Do we know? Brian's not really a phone guy, so I doubt
it was hard enough getting him on Discord.
Yeah, Discord or Instagram.
Yeah, we finally got him on Instagram.
We're going to eventually get Brian on Tonnet, but right now, Bo's the main. Other than me and Bo are fighting the Tonnet fight. So you guys follow. I guess they could follow Live on Two Wheels as well. They could join the club that we have on Tonnet. I will be
cross-posting them. So you have the option when you post on Tonnet. If you're part of a club, it'll duplicate the post to the club that you select. Kind of like how Instagram lets you select Twitter to cross-post.
Right.
They do something similar in the post. If you're on your main page and you bring up the icon for posting.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you take a picture or a video or whatever. And in the options, when you put the caption and stuff, that gives you the thing that says oh, do you want to post this to your club?
Right.
So I'm going to be posting it to my timeline, but I'll be cross-posting it. To
I was
club.
seeing that when I posted something about our slingshot review that we're going to come out tomorrow. So yeah, you guys do that. Make sure to follow Bo, and then I'll be doing some posts about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride this Sunday.
Hell yeah, he's got some Tonnet swag. We can do some giveaways.
Whoop whoop! That's awesome.
Yeah.
We still need to get Tonnet shirts. Tonnet has sponsored 12 episodes of this show. And we have somehow.
Well, didn't we try? And it was something about the email address. So we'll have to figure it out.
We need to figure out the details
because I really want that shirt.
I know, same. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be posting Get On MotoFest stuff. I'll be posting Distinguished Gentleman's Ride stuff. Yeah. So quick update because I'm sure people are curious. Somebody said in the chat, the media is riding the R7 today. And why am I not there? That's a great question.
That's a really great question. Why aren't you there?
Bruh, I did that show on Tuesday and my legs still hurt.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram,
and he can't say anything.
Yeah.
I actually can't say anything. This time, for realsies, can't say anything. Fool them once.
So, all I can say is that I rode the R7 at Atlanta Motorsports Park it was Tuesday, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday. And that's all. Oh, my God. I shouldn't have said anything because I want to say so much now.
Nope, that's it. The end.
God, I do have a really cool video. Muted. You're like the safety switch. If I started saying anything about the R7, you're like,
whoop.
So guys, the way these media press launches work is you get to go to the event. You can post photos of the event, right when you're there. But there's the thing called an embargo, which basically means anybody that goes, nobody's editorial reviews, which means your opinions of the bike, the event, anything like that, nothing is allowed to happen and be released until May 26th at 9 a.m. PST, Pacific, West Coast time. So that is when our R7 video will come out.
Yep.
I can't say anything until then. I've got some phenomenal content. I have phenomenal content. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I think that's all this week was. That's all housekeeping.
That's all housekeeping. Yeah, we're just we're excited to be out in Texas and meet a whole bunch of people.
Oh, by the way, y'all, Heather can attest to this. My outfit for the Distinguished Gentleman Drive, for one, it fits, so I'm super amped about that. Because I ordered everything on Amazon, right? And have you ever ordered clothes on Amazon?
No.
Okay, it's a crap shoot. Sometimes it's fine, and then a lot of times, it's very much smaller than you would expect, which makes a guy who's currently overweight very self-conscious about himself. So I was like, when I tried everything on, I'm like, it fits. Oh my God.
That's how I felt when I was getting married. And so here's the thing.
We went
vest shopping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'd taken off some of the weight that I'd put on when I lived in Charlotte.
Right.
Like sad Charlotte weight. and so I am
the old sad Charlotte 16.
Yeah, I'm feeling myself. I'm in this vest. My groomsmen, okay, one of them was he's a gold medal jiu-jitsu fighter. Another one
gotta be careful with those kind of friends, man. Moto Nazi's the only one I got.
My brother-in-law, 6'3", yoked as hell. And then my buddy James, who had just lost 100 pounds and was in great shape. And I turn around and they're all wearing the vest. I was like, take those things off. Nobody gets to wear a vest.
Everybody gets to wear robes today.
Yep. You get trench coats all around. I'm glad it fits. That's good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this fit, dude.
Bro, so the obviously I can't do anything here, right? We all know that I cannot grow any sort of beard. It can get in a little bit and then it's like, bro, you need to exit right now. But I tried to overcompensate with everything else. I've got Heather might have to double check me. It's called a fedora, maybe. I got fedora.
Are you doing the milady?
Bro, I've got the tiny sunglasses and stuff. Oh my goodness. And then Triumph's gonna let me borrow the Speed Twin.
That's nice.
I'm amped. Gotta pick it up on Saturday. It's gonna be a fun time. Babe, we should have ordered a stick-on. Oh, we should have ordered a stick-on mustache. Should have ordered that on Amazon. See another thing I should have ordered.
Yeah,
that would have been so annoying putting that on with a helmet though. It would have been and fell off or whatever.
You should just put one on your helmet.
I should just paint it on with a Sharpie.
Close your lid and put it round about.
Oh no! All the decals.
There's a mustache.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one on that special helmet that I got. And that's gonna be my distinguished helmet for sure. I love it. Okay,
that's it for housekeeping.
That's about it for housekeeping. Okay. It's been an edit fest.
This is how the topic of tonight's show started. Was talking about all these kind of things. We've been talking about it for a month now. About
we got all these meetups coming up, and we haven't got everybody knows what happened last year.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, we're still dealing with.
Yeah.
So meetups have kind of getting pushed away.
2020.
2020 was out.
Yeah.
2021 will not happen.
Yeah.
2022 is the first year, realistically. If you guys that don't know, I used to put on a GA Moto Meet. I would do it every year. We would have hundreds and hundreds of people show up because my mentality was we could do a lot of small meetups throughout the year, but I wanted to do this one big meetup so that, if you were coming from across the country or across the state or something like that, I would want everybody to know that if you're going to come to one of my meetups, come to this one. You know what I mean? So that was the mentality. And we would do it once a year, and it got bigger and bigger. And through that process, I learned a lot about
it started
meetups.
out like 5 people at a cycle gear.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then
just like a regular meetup.
Quadrupled the next year.
And then even more than that.
Yeah, it was like an exponential growth.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think our last.
It's weird to think that's how long we've known each other, because that was like 2013.
So I got 13? Dude. I was making our Instagram or our thumbnail for this live stream, and I was going through my old Instagram, like just scrolling through Instagram to see if I had any photos. Short story, I didn't. Heather had to save the day for that one. She had like some awesome photos she had taken from one of the meetups. So I got to see a timeline of Bo, because there was like, you would just find your way into photos here and there. So bro, your hair changed from nothing to short to barely anything to long. Your hair has gone through like just this weird transformation of never being the same.
This is a complaint my wife gives me all the time. It's like in the like, I mean, we've been together now, I want to 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my facial hair and hair have never been the same. Each year it changes.
Yeah.
She's never seen my whole face.
I
told her I have the weakest chin. It's just I'm hiding it underneath it.
That's hilarious.
Here's a fun story. Here's a fun anecdote. The whole reason I got into motorcycling was because of the meetup, the second one, like leading up to that.
Right.
I had been thinking about it, and I was watching a couple of videos, and then I found the meetup happening, and I was like, well, I got to make this happen.
Right.
So 2 weeks prior to that, I got my license and my bike.
Yeah, Bo took a really interesting path with motorcycling. It was like, hey, let me get a motorcycle. 2 days later, hey, I'm going to go to a meetup. Hey, a week later, I'm going to go to the Dragon. Like one of the most technical roads you can possibly ride.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't go down or anything.
That's good.
So we've been kind of talking about meetups. We've got all these meetups coming up, and, you know, inevitably we're talking about like the pros, the cons, what we like, what we don't like.
Yeah.
And, you know, after, 8 years of doing meetups, I think is how many meetups we've done? I can check
15, 14.
I can check the show doc.
2013, 12. 2012. So,
well, yeah, I'm
9 years.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 videos.
That's 8 years of meetups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I think the very first one we might not have. Oh no, we did. So 8 meetups so far.
Yeah.
Which is, you learn a lot. You know, towards the end of doing meetups for the Georgia Moto Meet, we would have, I think, between like 600 and 900 people show up.
It capped out 1 year above 1,000.
Yeah. So we're talking a massive amount of people, and it's kind of hard, right? Because the way I look at meetups as a content creator is I spend the entire year with the guys making just whatever videos we feel like we want to make, or what videos you guys ask for. And, you know, we work super hard. We put the videos out. We hit the upload button on YouTube, and it just goes into the internet.
Yeah.
And then on our end, you know, we have the numbers that say views are going up, and this is how many views and this is how many people. But like, it's very hard as a content creator to translate, you know, hey, the video got 30,000 views. That means not necessarily 30,000 people watched it, but 30,000 times the video was clicked to play. But can you imagine 30,000 people? It's hard to do that, right? Like you would think of like a stadium or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you do a moto meet, like a motorcycle meetup, and you've got
you see those people there.
Yeah,
it
like
it could be 100.
100 people, and you're like, oh my god, I control an army.
That second meetup was like 20 people.
Right.
And even that, like
huge.
I remember looking behind me, because one, it was pouring rain the whole time. As soon as we left the restaurant and started the route, it started to pour.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked behind me, and you could just see motorcycle headlights.
And that's 20.
And that was 20. And then the next year, it was like 150. And you're just like, and I think
at 150, you're at that infinite bike number.
The last group ride we did at a meetup was like 600 people.
Right. So the last group ride we did, I think, was 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2017.
We didn't do it 18 because of all the funny business.
Yeah, so the thing, and by the way, when I say, I don't know if you guys understood what I mean, but when I say the infinite bike number,
you just can't
I
see
mean
the
if
end of
you're
headlights.
if you're towards the front or the middle,
You're reaching the curvature of the Earth.
yeah, well, the Earth is flat, of course.
Just
kidding.
Leave.
So yeah, what I mean, if you guys have never gone to a 100+ bike meetup, if you're in the front to the middle and you're riding, don't do this. But if you were to, I've done it with cameras. I can see I have a camera mounted on my helmet looking back.
It's retrospectively,
you cannot see the end of the line. It just looks like motorcycle lines just go forever. That being said, that's because at our meetups, we've always been very particular about safety and organization. And this is kind of where, this is why we don't do group rides anymore at the meetup. And this is also...
we had 2 years running where there was a bad accident.
Yeah, so the last meetup, and this is, I guess we'll jump into like the negatives side real quick, knock out the negatives, and then we can start talking about all the positives about meetups, because there's pros and cons, right? There's goods and bads. But one of the reasons I decided to stop doing group rides at my meetups is because I had a very good friend of mine who was one of my lead riders at the meetup. I had like a group of probably 20 riders. They were all experienced. They all knew what they were doing. They all had gone to every meetup. They had done their own group rides before. Everybody was very experienced in that group of guys, right? I'm not going to trust people that don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So I've got all these guys, and their job, because we've never done a meetup where we've charged money. It's always been free. So we don't have the money. I never brought on sponsors. I never did anything. So I didn't have the capital to be like, hey, let's rent a cop or a few cops to block roads off to keep everything safe. So
because that stuff does cost money.
It does cost money, yeah. And that's just, we never got to that point with meetups.
Right.
Not that we were never going to or anything like that. We just never got to it. So the way we would do it to keep it safe, you guys have to realize, with 600 bikes on a highway, you're going to be stuck for 15 minutes.
300
minimum.
In the mountain was too much.
Yeah, so...
That was when that doofus on the SV...
Oh, straight into the mountain.
Ate the side of Blood Mountain.
Bro, so seriously, y'all, he nom-nommed the side of the mountain. So just as an example, the guy that Bo's talking about, we had the only meetup we ever went up in the mountains.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson really quickly.
Yeah, we went to Brasstown Bald.
You have to keep it super simple, because we had a tryhard, and anybody that has gone to a meetup, and it happens to me too. I'm sitting there riding with all these people. Your adrenaline's up. You've got all these people riding around you. It's an experience you don't have very often. And
it's
I'm
also
always
easy to get caught up in it.
Right. And I get caught up in it too. And I'm in the front. I can't imagine being in the middle. Right. So you get these people that are like, oh shit, this is so cool. There's so many people riding. We had a guy who came to the first meetup that we were going to do a group ride into the mountains. Because back in the day, that's all I wanted to ride was in the mountains. Excuse me. And I heard from somebody after the fact that he said, because we would always meet up at a central location, organize everybody, then go for the ride. He told somebody, he's like, bro, I've never been in the mountains. I'm so excited. Today's going to be the first day I get my knee down. And I'm like, for one, don't do that on a road, on a public street. I'm not saying I've never done it. I've had dumb times in my life. I've learned through that. So I'm not acting like I'm holier than thou. I've had dumb moments on motorcycles, but the dude was literally anticipating to do the fastest and most dangerous riding he's ever done in his life in a setting of hundreds of people being around him. It's going to put him in danger, going to put other people in danger. And then the dude hits the first actual turn on the mountain and goes and low side straight into the mountain. It's just the stupidest mentality I think I can have. But going back to that last group ride we had at a meetup, I had my group of guys that were super experienced. Everybody knew the turns they were supposed to block off. So what they would basically do is, I'm in the front. those guys are in front of me. So if we were all like, I had it super simple.
Wasn't Downey one of those bloggers?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that meetup, I had learned a lot. I had realized how stupid people get at meetups, and I made the route. We leave mountain, we get on a highway, we do a circle around a small highway, and we're back at mountain. There were no turns other than out of mountain and into mountain.
Yeah, it was NASCAR status.
It was NASCAR. So in my head, I'm like, this cannot be any easier.
Welp.
Yeah. So what happens is we do that. I have my group of guys up front. So when there was it wasn't a big highway, but it was like 2 lanes on each side. So we basically filled up 2 lanes, right? And we're just cruising at a slow pace. It was like under the speed limit pace. I think the speed limit was like 65 or 70. Yeah. We were going 60 the whole time, right? Because we're trying to stay controlled. I don't want things to get crazy. My guys would go up. One would block off an entry road. One would block off a turn road, and we would keep proceeding. The next guys would block the next ones off, and these guys in the back would go along the outside of the group, make their way back up to the front, and we would just keep cycling that. Somehow, with all of that set up, some dude, I have one of my buddies up here blocking one of the turn roads to keep this entire group of people safe and moving forward so we can do our little ride and get done as fast as possible. Somebody's in the whole setup. They're like all excited, not paying attention to what's happening in front of them.
Do you recall that's the same year that those people on the Facebook post kept talking about stunting at the thing, and I straight up told them, I was like, bro, you do that on your own time. There'll be places you guys can go somewhere else, but when we're on the group ride, like, you're not impressing anybody. We all ride motorcycles,
right? Like,
we all know how fun it is.
Like, oh, there's a limiter at the Revs. Oh my god!
Oh my god, a guy can do a wheelie.
Your dick is so large. Like, so, Bo's about to spit. Nailed it. So anyway,
don't say spit after that sentence.
So we've got all this stuff set up. We do have a group of people because we would organize it via Facebook, and we're about to go to an ad real quick. I just want to finish the story up. But had all this happening. My guy's blocking off the road. He's standing on his bike just waiting. Guy's not paying attention. Does like this, looking behind him, wants to see all the motorcycles. Clips the side of one of my really good friends. To this day, we're still really good friends. He almost lost his leg and hand.
Yep.
So it was that meetup, that ride, that was the last year where I was like, I'm not going to I don't know what else to do.
That year when that dude hit the mountain, I remember you and I were talking about it. It's like, man, it might be time to look at mixing group rides. And you're like, well, we'll see what next year, like one guy being an idiot. And then that happened, and it was just like,
well, every year. So every year
it got larger.
Every year it got larger, yeah. But like from the beginning of the group ride, something happened every year where I'm like, okay, we don't need to do that next year.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to modify the group ride next year for this. We kept modifying. And that's what that group ride got to, right? I got to the point of like, okay, we're going to do a circle. I'm going to have people block, and that's all we're going to do. And my good friend like ends up going into the hospital and all this kind of stuff. It was a terrible situation.
Too. Like, okay, so like those are, I think that's the negatives, right? Is like,
yeah.
So let's run this ad, and then we come back because we're going to end on a positive note because I'm flying out to one.
Well, that's why I wanted to get this out of the way. Like, this is this is the negatives of it.
What noob wants the bad news last?
Right. Yeah. We're not going to end this week on a bad note. So, guys, this episode is sponsored by Tonic. We're going to talk about Tonic for a second, and we're going to reveal what Tonic can do now right when we get back.
Yay.
What's going on, guys? So real quick, I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to submit your questions for the Live on Two Wheels show using the hashtag L2W. Just as a reminder, if you guys actually submit a video and we answer your question on the show, we will be sending you a $50 Revzilla gift card or one of the other prizes that we will get from one of our other sponsors. So I've got my phone recording really quickly. First up, we're going to go to the Live on Two Wheels Club over on Tonic. So once you get into there, you guys can see somebody submitted a video of their MT-07. We're going to hit this plus icon. We're going to hit the camera icon.
take video. At that point, we're going to be here in the app. We're going to swap places. This is me actually doing it. Hey, this is me and Chase and Bo. What is your favorite motorcycle and why? Okay. And if we say use video, and then we go into this thing and we just say, who can share this post? You can put anybody. Let's do only members. Done. And at that point, I'm going to hit a check mark. Now, I'm not going to post it because I don't want to be selected to answer my own questions, but we want you guys to submit video questions so we can show them here on the show. And that's how easy it is to do that. So we look forward to getting some of y'all's video submissions over on Tonnet. And without further ado, we'll go back to the show.
Their ad. Fuck. That would have been smart. Oh, well.
We're
That's
back.
okay. Oh, we're back. Okay. Guys, so me and Bo, the last, 2-3 weeks, have had access to this thing on Tonnet, but they told us we couldn't talk about it because they wanted it to be like a release thing. But as of today, Tonnet has ride tracking, where you in the app can literally start tracking, and it will track you doing a ride, and then you can post that ride. So Bo and I have got some really cool ideas to post some stuff. We've tested it out. We did our first ride route. We did the ride from here to mountain. We've just been kind of playing around with it and testing it. We have so many cool ideas, but I don't want to talk about them yet because I don't want to put it out there and then for whatever happened, we can't do it.
We got to bring him into like a tier 2.5.
Yeah, we got to up the tiers. But that is so freaking cool. So not only is Tonnet now this cool motorcycle community where you can post photos and videos and share with other motorcyclists around you, but you can track your rides, you can share your rides, and
the foundations are getting set up for some of the stuff that we've been talking about for a long time. Because there's been several companies.
We know more stuff and we can't say it.
So there's been several companies that have tried to get into the motorcycle only world, and they all kind of fall flat.
Yeah, they kind of do this, and then it just goes away. Kind of like Scully.
Oh. Ooh.
But so we had a call with Tonnet yesterday, and they were telling us ride tracking's coming out tomorrow. We were joking with it. It's you guys need to release stuff on Thursdays for on live on Ontwowheels.
Let's be specific, because Great Mongoose pulls up a pretty good point. Yes, the Harley app does ride tracking too. So does the Indian app.
Right,
but those are inclusive to those brands. You may be able to share them outside of the app, but you are operating in that app. They want you in their app. This is agnostic to the brand of bike you get. And I think that's the biggest part about it is manufacturer agnostic. So
it's inclusive to anybody riding.
Yeah.
So that's cool that other apps do ride tracking, but the whole point is
Indian does the same thing. It's
right. But at what point is it if it's only do you only want to ride with Harley people? Do you only want to ride with Indian people?
Yeah.
I would prefer to ride with people that just are enthusiastic about the.
There's a place for those things, because there's the Harley Rider group and the Indian Rider group. They have their official rider groups, and that's a great place for it. But
we're thinking big picture.
The
though.
space
our audience
of motorcycle community, social media apps, has been kind of a puttering pile of crap for a better part of a decade, and people have tried, and it's just having all of the pieces in play
in the one spot
is like the secret sauce. Right. And they're setting some pretty good foundations. So I've not been as active as I normally have been trying to, but we're going to start using it. And one of those things that we've been toying around with is events, because you can't do events on there and not invite people. And so once we start getting a hold of how we're going to do events, then that's going to be the first place we look.
Yeah, 100%.
Without hesitation, because I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
The app is built around
literally.
It's literally built to do that.
It's there.
It has a point. So we're really excited about what Tonnet has now, what Tonnet's going to be including moving forward. So if you guys want to check it out, we'll have links obviously in the show. And Tonnet, we love you for sponsoring the show. So thank you very much. Okay. We've talked about the crappy parts about meetups. It's guys get all into their egos and want to show off in front of all these people, and end up hurting other people that don't even mean to get hurt, right? So now that's the negative stuff, right?
Yeah.
And also, just for clarification, it's hard to make people obey in a giant thing. I will tell you guys, moving forward with the Georgia meetups, probably starting in 2022, one thing I'm looking at doing, I'm going to have to charge. It's going to be something like $5. It's going to be cheap, and all the money is there for is to pay for the vendors. If you guys don't know, in the past, we've had to pay for you can ask my wife because I get her to handle that. You have to pay up front for a food truck.
Yep.
Did you know that? Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
I was telling Heather, I was like, so I have to pay you to come to my event and make money? Awesome. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, right, dude. I'm in the
I get
opposite.
paid to get paid.
Right. I get paid to come out and get paid and be in a central environment with a ton of people and exclusivity because I'm the only food truck. Wow, what a deal. It's stupid.
Talking about this makes me miss the meetups even more. Like that was probably my favorite. Like, and if you talk to my wife about it, like every year that the meetup was happening,
right?
Like that was my highlight because that was at the height of full-time IT system admin,
right?
12 to 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
On week call on the weekends, and like my life was just this grind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was,
so the meetup sort of this point of like I can just meet all these people.
I would take days off work if I had to, because I would come out on the Fridays and like hang out with some of the smaller groups and stuff.
Right.
And like I would just cancel. I was like, nobody talk to me.
Yeah, phone's on mute, bro.
Yeah,
phone's on mute.
And it would be 3 days, and I'm just like that. It was the best part of that year.
Right. Well, I mean, so back to, we started the show. I'm sitting there talking about like numbers. Numbers are hard to understand. The meetup is the first. It's honestly the main anchor point in the year where I, as a content creator, it can be like, random guy who I've never met before comes up to me and is like, hey, man, I was getting into riding, didn't know what bike to start on, ended up starting on a Ninja 400 after watching your video. That is honestly the anchor point for my channel when I'm reminded in my brain of like, hey.
That's the whole reason you made those videos.
That's why I make these videos. Like, I see the comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. But hearing a guy talk to you about how, or a Wreck Bike Review video, where our 2019 meetup, people were coming up to Brian because he was becoming a character on the channel at that point and telling him stuff like, I didn't know how to do something. When I watched the video of you doing something, now I know how to do stuff on my own bike. Yeah. Thank you. You saved me hundreds of dollars because I didn't have to go to a shop to get it done. Like, things become really real at that point. So that's probably my favorite part of the meetups because, like, low key,
it's like it's the one chance you have to not worry about like creation because you're there.
I try to make a meetup video every time.
Yeah, you'll do the meetup.
I would fail.
You do the like the pre-vlog. Like every time. But then
you
go there and you're just like, I see you with a camera in your hand for like 5 seconds, and then you're just sitting there. You got the dog and the wife. You got the tent out, and you're just hanging out with people. And
right. Well, yeah, because I even said so you know how you couldn't find the 2019 meetup video, so I found it, and it's literally me doing a talk to camera. When I got to the meetup, Heather, me, and Oreo were there. We had just set up, and I was like, all right, everybody's probably going to show up soon, so I'll show you guys what happens.
Did not show what happens.
The next shot, so my buddy Jack's he made a really cool cinematic video of it, so I just used his video. Obviously, I asked him if I could use it and everything, so I put his video in mine, and then the only time you see me after that is like, there's like 3 bikes, everybody's gone, and I'm like, all right.
That was fun.
So that was the meetup. But like my priority, to your point, the meetups are my one time where my priority is not to make content.
You get to be a motorcyclist and like
just hang out with people that enjoy motorcycles. Yeah, because like obviously a lot of conversation is about like, oh, what video somebody started watching the channel on or whatever. But a lot of the conversation is just like, oh, you've got a cool bike. How'd you come across that bike, or what stuff have you done on that bike? It's such a cool situation, and it's a very unique thing. That being said, meetups are exhausting. Not just the day, but just the whole lead up, the planning. Like, you guys would be mind
I
blown.
didn't have to worry about that, so
Bro, so
I was not exhausted.
yeah, so it's because like you only do it once a year, so it's not
Yeah.
like I'm getting repetitive at like doing the same thing over and over again and getting good at it. It would always be this just like super stressful thing, but you know, you leave the meetup, you're emotionally exhausted, but then you're like, damn, that's so
feels
cool.
good.
It's so cool to meet so many people that are like you and you can talk to.
That's the thing. So like, and when we found out that Get On MotoFest was a thing, before we were talking about going, I was like, I'm going to this.
Right, 100%.
I'll take off work. I'll take the hit, because like the whole reason I got into street riding, like I rode dirt when I was like a teenager, and then got my dirt bike stolen, didn't ever ride again. But then I got like hair at my ass, and I was like, all right, I'll look at it. I watched a couple of videos. You were not the first one. I just want to point that out.
Dang it.
It was Brandy.
Failure.
It was Brandy.
I'll take the hit.
Yeah. And then I started watching some videos, and then it was like meetups and like tiny little meetups. You like some videos at the varsity and stuff like that. And I was like,
Right.
that looks fun. I was
Right.
like, okay. So I went, got my M class, got my bike. 2 weeks later, and we were at that Lanier. And then it was just like every year that it was something. That's the whole reason. The whole reason I started riding on the street was because of the community. It was because like getting to meet like complete strangers and just instantly have at least one singular connection between another person. And you can sit there, and it was just before we were doing comms. Really.
Right.
We just ride.
Yeah, you couldn't talk to anybody.
Just
It was
ride.
just do your
It's
thing.
silence. It's the road. It may be some earbuds or whatever, but you're
Right.
just riding. And at the end of it, everybody's like on the same level. And it was just this like cathartic experience. You remember that we're just like meat puppets and small tribes. Like, you know what I mean? Like
true,
we're so dispersed because of modern technology and
Right. travel
that like everybody lives further away from the people than they would.
Right.
And then you're reminded that like, oh, we're just like there's this, it's reductive, but like we're just tribesmen. And we don't have our
Right.
tribe. So when you get together these meetups, you're like, oh, it's my tribe.
Well, so that's a good like segue into something I wanted to tag on with. The moto meets that, I'm not the only one. Moto does meetups. I know some guys out in California do a moto meet.
Yeah.
And like there's a difference in a motorcycle meetup and like a YouTube moto meet, because a lot of people ride motorcycles and enjoy motorcyclists and do meetups. But us people that watch YouTube people consistently in the motorcycle market, we're like a niche of a niche. And I know, a lot of motorcyclists don't even like talking about, they like watching YouTube motorcycle guys. I don't know if there's like a weird stigma about it. Obviously I'm biased, right? Because I'm down I am the rabbit hole. But yeah, I take that back. I take that statement back. I would like that. I would like that redacted from the archive. But no, for real, I've had guys come up to me. I think I told you this when we were shooting that promo video for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. So we were doing like little solo shots of all the guys, because everybody had these cool retro old bikes. So everybody was kind of dispersing out, and I had a guy roll up to me. And he was like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan of the channel," and I just didn't want to say anything.
Why is this a secret, dude?
Dude, no, yeah, exactly. And he literally said,
He likes my stuff. Hey, everybody here, he likes my stuff.
"Oh, I should have done that." But no, he was like, "I didn't want to seem like I forget what he said. He said I didn't want to seem like something in front of everybody." So I think there's this weird stigma of like, you watch motorcycle YouTube people, but at a moto meet, you are surrounded by people that the only way they know about the meetup is from YouTube motovlog people who talked about it. So you're around people that you can authentically just talk about the shit you enjoy, which is like, hey, did you see so-and-so's video about whatever? And the odds of that person be like, yeah, it was hilarious. It's very high, So you get to have conversations that you don't typically get to have with people. I think that's just something I love about it, where it's like you don't have to be this like, oh no, I don't watch that guy. No,
So like it's our meetups are the niche meetups of the niche group. It's like
of the niche, yeah,
right. It's
it's
like,
triple niche.
It's this super cool, like there's nobody there that's gonna be like they're putting on airs. Like everybody, you know what you're there for,
and you can just be you.
And like people come up and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool, I like that, blah blah blah," and that was great.
Right.
Like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" Like camera questions, bike questions, video questions.
Yeah, I mean, because
everybody's just hanging out.
Everybody knows what's up. Everybody's there for the same reason. So it's a really cool moment of camaraderie to have our moto meets. I honestly, after having 2 years of not doing it, because you can ask Heather, like after that last meetup, I was like, God, I want these to be better, but like with running a business and trying to do a giant meetup at the same time, it's really hard. But now having 2 years out of it, I'm like, I value what the meetup does for me personally even more now, having not done the meetup in a couple years. So I definitely look forward.
I am the most excited about getting the Georgia meetup.
Right.
That was, it's just something about it, man. Here's the thing. I love meeting people. Like, I'm an extrovert, like in its truest sense.
Right.
I'm the friend maker. That's what, like, anytime we'd go anywhere as a group, my buddies would just send me out and be like, just go find people. Bring them back here.
Right.
So we don't actually have to do the work.
Well, so that's, I think that's one of the reasons
I'm
so exhausted at meetups.
I feed off of that energy.
Right.
Like, you guys have seen it a couple of times, like outside before I started working here. Like when we'd hang out, my energy level would, and I have to sometimes I have to apologize to people. Like, look, I haven't hung out with a human being in like 3 weeks, so like I'm like, ah.
Right, exactly.
But like the meetup, it's just this. I get to just,
right.
Everybody's there. We're all on the same page. We're all having fun. A couple of dickheads do some dumb stuff. They go.
Right.
Done.
Well, so that's why meetups take so much energy out of me, because like whether people realize it or not, I'm super introverted. I have a small group of friends, and that's typically how I work. But I've also had enough time on camera where I've got my like, okay, you need to have extroverted energy for a day. You know what I mean? So if I'm at one of these press launches, I'm not going to act like some little introvert and not talk to anybody. But I think that's one of the reasons meetups take so much out of me. But it also gives so much to meet people in person, to just to have that human connection.
Well, it's like one of the first things we said when we started talking with Tonnet is like, that was the thing I was most excited about. Like when I think their first meeting with them, it was like, oh, events. I'm like, that was a freaking light bulb on my head. I was like,
because we've been talking for a year that one of our weaknesses of the channel is local based.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we make phenomenal content for a worldwide audience, but I feel like we're lacking here locally in Atlanta.
Get too big for your britches.
I'm getting too big for my britches.
So like we used to do like the varsity meetups a lot, like random stuff.
Right.
But like your workload is much different than it was back then too, because our workflow is much more intense than your workflow was back then.
Right. It was kind of just like make whatever you kind of want to make. It
so
wasn't
it's like
structured.
Now we have to be more scheduled, as adults tend to have to do. It's like I have to schedule time to have fun.
Yeah,
basically.
no, you really do.
So like now, and that's why like I think it was the first meeting they went over the like the app and its features and stuff, and I saw that event thing. And you'll recall, I asked like 3 or 4 questions in a row. I was just like, I was excited because like through this whole pandemic, it is like, where's the light at the end of that tunnel? You know, like I want to get back to that place. How can we do it safely? How can we do it responsibly? And then once things start opening back up, it's like, how can we do this on a bigger, more local scale? And like, and Brian's the same way. Brian's been barking at us.
Oh my God, Brian more than anybody.
Yeah, and it's like wants to just ride with people. And I think that's when they said, "Hey, do you guys want to go out to get on MotoFest?" I was like, not even a slow look. I wasn't even turned around. I'm just like, yes.
Right. It's it's something we definitely look forward to, and that's one of the reasons we partnered up with Tonnet for this show, because we're not ready right now to do meetups, but we wanted to go ahead and partner with a company that has that forward momentum and look of like they want to facilitate that kind of stuff. So go ahead and start working with them now. Tonnet is very much like Ruroc. They remind me of each other, where they actually just care about the community. It is sad
that it's that big
of a deal.
It
sounds like a line. It sounds like a line, but like truly.
I have no reason to lie.
Yeah.
They are the only reasons I work with companies to that degree.
Yeah.
Ruroc and Cardo and freaking Tonnet, like these companies care about the people that are out on two wheels doing their things.
Ran through that.
Oh my good God! Is it 5 minutes left?
Yeah, and we can't really go over today because
so we have to head to the airport.
As we're finishing this, we are gonna go pick up Brian, and then we'll be heading to the airport to fly out to Texas.
Right.
So that we can go to sleep and wake up 6 hours later and do this.
Right. So Bo and Brian you guys are going to land at 12, Uber to the hotel, get a hotel room, and you have to be at Get On MotoFest at 9 a.m.
You put that in a weird order. Do we have a hotel room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you said that.
No.
You said that like, all right, land, get an Uber, take it to a hotel.
The hotel, sorry.
And then just good luck.
I've set up a tent for you guys in Texas. Oh my goodness. So I think the things we can take away from this episode, we like meetups. We want them to continue to happen. I wanted to talk a little bit about Distinguished Gentleman's Ride real quick while we finish up.
I'm looking through Tonnet here. To find,
LTW stuff. Gotcha.
LTW stuff.
I forgot to tell you guys, at the end of the shows, we give away a $50 Revzilla gift card to somebody that we pick to answer a question in our club over on Tonnet. It's live on Two Wheels. And if you use the hashtag L, the number 2W, ask us a question, post a cool photo, anything like that. Just make content over on Tonnet. We'll select one that we like, and whoever we select, we'll send you $50 for Revzilla.
Real quick before you get into that, I just want to say, like, we do have to be mindful about picking the same people over and over again, but
that was an accident.
But no. We totally have no problem with it because you guys are dropping gems. Don't stop. So hilarious. Oh, Suzuki Dukely.
Yes.
Whiskey Tango Charlie. You kidding me, bro? Suzuki Dukely. Come on. All right. I've got our winner picked out.
Well, hold on. Let me talk about Distinguished Gentleman's Ride.
We'll finish up.
So. Yep. I gotta say, and a lot of this is going to be based on how the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride goes for me on Sunday.
Yeah.
I've never done it before, but from what the guys have told me, it's a paid meetup. I think you pay like $5 or something like that.
And then you get a sponsor for your ride.
You pay, and then you can bring on sponsors. So the way I did it was I made a video. I put my sponsorship link in there, and people could go and sponsor it. A couple people did, which is awesome, raising money for Men's Health. Yeah. But the thing I love about it is it's meet up at a location, and then for 4 hours you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
After those 4 hours, it's not 4 hours. I don't know the exact timeline. Yeah. I've got it on my email. So after that period of time, everybody goes for a ride. They get back to the location, and then there's post-ride festivities.
Yeah.
So
it's the way to do it, dude.
And the ride is through Atlanta. They're going to have motorcycle cops and regular cops leading the entire ride. It's going to be super slow. And depending on how it goes, I might want to start looking into that for the next GA Moto Meet. If it is, I want it cop driven, because if we're paying for tickets and we get enough people to come, I can afford to hire police officers to lead the meetup, lead the ride. So that way I don't have to have my own guys there. It's a cop, it's lights. Hopefully people won't run into a cop on the side of the road. I really hope they don't. But I'm very interested to see what it looks like, see how it runs, because I want to take a lot of that and put it to our next meetup so we can have a bigger, safer ride. You're walking over here. I'm very excited to see what this is.
We just need to see. I need your opinion.
Uh-huh. Wow. What an OG post. No, that has to win. After
the talk, man.
Right. Yeah. Can you take a screenshot of that and send it to my laptop, and we can show it on the thing?
I don't know if it...
No, on your phone, screenshot, and then airdrop it to me, because we have science.
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
Right. Who is the? So guys, we're gonna tell you guys who the winner for LTW was.
I can't do both of these things at the same time.
So yeah, guys, look for 2022's GA Moto Meet. Once we get some solid stuff in and we know it's actually going to happen, we'll let you guys know, and then that way we can start planning. Oh, dude,
the winner's name is Super Hawk. Ontwowheels138 who dropped some bomb-ass old photos of one of his meat.
Hold on.
That was like
on.
2 years ago, something like that.
It was a hot second ago. Let me pull it up real quick, and you can show my screen, and we'll show what the image is. This is a great way to do the thing, because we can actually show the Tonnet screen and everything. All right, yeah, you can show my screen now. So, guys, this is from the 2019 meetup. I literally watched the video today. How cool is that? Can I zoom into this?
No.
I can. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that young boy.
Potato.
Are you calling me a potato?
No. I like how you tried to scroll.
No, look, I can.
You tried to scroll down to the next thing.
Superhog 1. So I'm trying to use Tonnet, man. I'm just trying to scroll through it. Superhog 138. How are we doing them contacting us? Are they just contacting you through?
I'll usually end up hitting them up in a message.
Okay, gotcha.
And then get their email. If you're able to, just send me a direct message with your name and your email.
Right. So, Superhawk, thank you for posting that. And you guys make sure to post stuff on Tonnet on our. You can post it any time, and then specifically on Thursdays when we do our live show. Bro, what if we did a live on Two Wheels live from a meetup?
I mean, dude,
do we have the technical ability to do that?
Possibly.
That would be crazy. Would that not be like the most nut thing ever?
Yeah.
That's a bad sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this has been episode 12 of Live on Two Wheels. Thank you guys so much for watching it live. If you are just tuning in, I think you can rewind this, but these live shows go live on the channel anyway, so you guys can watch them at any time. And if you want to watch any of the old ones, they're all available here on the Chase on Two Wheels YouTube channel, or they'll be available. This episode of this podcast version won't be available until probably like Monday, because you're going to be out of town. I'm going to be out of town. So you guys, the podcast version will be on Monday. You guys make sure to hit the like button here on the channel if you're watching it live or on the video. Make sure to check it out over on Apple Podcast. We appreciate all the support, you guys. We're on our way upwards in the motorcycle.
You're gonna hit that number 2 spot pretty quick.
Oh snap! They better watch out, boys. We're coming for number 2.
And just a quick reminder. I said it earlier. If you're going to be out there, just hit me up. I'm going to be, like I said, live updating on Tonnet the whole weekend. So
yeah, and if you're in the Atlanta area and you're going to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, look for the Dapper Gentleman on the Speed Twin. Actually, there's going to be a lot of Dapper Gentlemen on Speed Twin. So good luck finding me, because I'm not going to look anything. Oh, this could be hard to find me, because I'm going to have I'm hatted up, glasses.
They'll know who it is.
Yeah, they'll know the laugh probably.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of the week, and we will see you guys same place, same time next Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you long time, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.